Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Scott?
Greetings all.
All right, so I want to make a little announcement first of all, because yesterday I was so hot about that freaking stupid Marvel. Hey Ben, what's up?
Hey, Ben.
How are you, Ben? I was so hot about that whole Amy Pascal pulling Kevin Feige shorts down and call him out in the middle of the thing. That
it's called
I just look again. I do apologize. It was late, and of course, the thing that bothers me the most, besides also Chris, no disrespect for you, I was not fighting with you, and I don't want anybody to think we were fighting. We're just having a debate because
no, not at all. Yeah,
you're one of my most trusted friends. So if anybody got that impression, get that out of your head. But one of the big things that I regret is because besides being a huge Doctor Who fan, besides being a huge Spider-Man fan, which I'm very passionate about, horror-wise, I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. So on the Horrorcast, many a times I've reviewed Friday the 13th. I know who Jason is. I know Kane Hodder. I meant to say Freddy vs. Jason, that Kane Hodder wasn't Freddy vs. Jason. And I'm like, oh, he's not in Jason New Line things. And I'm like angry, whatever. Trying to do an analogy, horrible analogy, didn't work. So I do want to apologize for that. And there's some comments on the videos that we've done. And look, basically, I just want to say this. We have no idea what's in the deal where Tom Holland is signed to be Spider-Man. The only few things we know is that Marvel, I think Kevin Feige, right, spoke out and said that not our Spider-Man, meaning that Tom Holland cannot be in Sony Spider-Man movies by itself outside of the MCU. That's the only information we know. So we don't know. Supposedly, he's under contracted. The contract was for Marvel, not Sony, even though it's a Sony movie. And supposedly he had 6 movies. We're well aware of that. So anybody that's putting comments trying to educate me, we talked about it many times. Chris has said the news many times about knowing that Tom Holland is contractually obligated for 6 films. We're well aware of that, okay? And I don't want my opinion to get in the way of actual journalism. So, one, I'm just saying that I don't think, maybe I'm giving them benefit of the doubt for once, that Marvel is going to be that stupid not to put something in the contract that says even though he's only got 6 movies, he can never be in a Sony movie as Spider-Man, okay? And if it was ever a thing where it's a role and he would lose a role, maybe Marvel would give him a role with something else to compensate just not to do that. Now, again, we don't know what's in the deal. I would like to think that is, but I don't know for sure, okay? So again, I'm not the type of person that has to be right, even though it would assume it looks like that. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
What's up, Connor Smith? All right, so I don't look, yes, of course I love to be right, but I was not right in that situation. And also that I'm not trying to think I'm always right. I don't always think I'm right. Sometimes we're in the heat of a debate or something, I'm talking and things come out wrong on my end. So I just wanted to apologize to the subscribers and stuff with that. Again, I know Kane. I just played the Friday the 13th game also on the weekend, and I have the box set, and I have every single Jason movie there is, so I know exactly what movies Kane Hodder has been in. It's just he wasn't in Freddy vs. Jason, and that's what I was trying to bring up. But in the heat of the battle, in the heat of the moment about debate, it just came out wrong. So anyway, we have no new information on that, right, Chris?
No. Which is surprising to me because last night, had you asked me when would I think that Marvel would want to come out and correct this, I would have said today.
So would have I. We said that.
Yeah, today probably around noon maybe would have been the opportune time, I think, for them maybe to say this is not the case. And it was interesting because I was watching, there was another channel that was talking about this news today, and very, very well-known channel. We've mentioned them on here before. They were doing their show that they normally do, and this topic came up, and they spoke about it for a good 10 or 15 minutes or so. And they're not saying definitely, but they think that these movies are connected. And in fact, they said it before it even came out. They said, I have a feeling that these movies are going to wind up being connected to the point where you might not see Tom Holland in the movies, but there is going to be a Spider-Man referenced, and the Spider-Man they're referencing is that Spider-Man. Now, I am still not convinced of this. Even last night, I am not convinced that these movies are connected, because to me, it doesn't make much sense. Venom comes out next, October?
Yeah.
November.
Spider-Man Homecoming 2 doesn't come out until 2019. So the idea that, maybe he gets the suit in 2, the Venom symbiote, that doesn't make sense because Venom is already out. Unless Venom takes place
in
after
Avengers
2.
Infinity War.
Something like that. But what I'm saying is, unless Venom comes out after 2, or Venom takes place after 2, I should say, that's going to get kind of confusing.
Now, they could do, the only thing they could do is, Marvel could say his suit gets ripped up when he's fighting Thanos, the alien symbiote bonds with him to have a suit. They don't call him Venom. And then, when they're done with Thanos, Tony Stark says, look, this thing is killing you, kid, you got to get it off.
Mm-hmm.
They get it off, and they just discard it. But it's in space, and it finds its way back to Earth. And then in the Venom movie, you see this thing coming down, right? Which doesn't have to look the same, whatever. They could just say, this thing comes down. It knows Spider-Man, it knows his powers, and then bonds with Eddie Brock, but never mentions Peter Parker Spider-Man at all.
Right, yeah.
That's the only way that could happen, where it could be tied to it without saying it.
And even that, to me, and this is just my opinion, that's rushing this really badly. Because we have a Spider-Man that's just been established as Spider-Man, and now they're immediately jumping into the Venom story, which I think is kind of,
Marvel not Marvel, Sony is just, I don't know.
That's why I don't think they're connected, because you remember what they were saying? You remember what they said, that they wanted this Venom movie to be like a horror movie?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think Marvel wants a horror movie linked to their MCU? I don't.
No. If they're going to do a horror movie, then they're going to do one based off one of their horror.
It's rated R.
But even that, Scott, they said that they're not going to pursue that, even with the characters that could do that.
I know, but
so
I saw the same thing. But
well, let me get our. Yeah. I wanted to get everybody else's opinion. Connor S., what's your opinion on Venom in the MCU with Spider-Man and Sony little rivalry with Marvel?
I've not really heard much about the MCU lately, so you're going to have to fill me in.
Well, we just did. We were just saying how Sony is making separate movies. Venom and Silver and Black, which is Black Cat and Silver Sable, which is in Spider-Man's lore. But they are doing it without Marvel. Like, in other words, it's Sony's movie, like an X-Men's doing 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Fox doing X-Men. So it's not exactly Marvel, but Marvel is directly doing Spider-Man Homecoming 1, 2, and 3 with Sony. So Marvel thing, before they said that Tom Holland can never appear in a Sony-related Spider-Man thing because he's contractually obligated to Marvel Disney. So if they're going to do it, they're going to do it with a different Spider-Man. But there was an interview with Amy Pascal, who's the producer of Homecoming and the producer of, I guess, of Venom or whatever, or director of Venom, whatever she is. And she was with Kevin Feige, who is also the head guy of all the Marvel movies. And somebody asked a question, and she basically answered in a way that she usually causes some issues with people, where she just made it appear that Venom and Silver and Black, which is Black Cat and Silver Sable, are part of the MCU. And Kevin Feige, you saw a close-up, right, Chris? He was like looking like he just had to go to the bathroom or something, and he made like a swallow, like, oh, like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. And he didn't say a thing, like, just totally like the only thing I can think of is like Mike Myers at that telethon thing with Kanye West, and they're supposed to be doing a telethon, and Kanye West is like, President Bush hates black people. I was like, I didn't say anything. It's like, oh shit. So basically, that's the oh shit moment happened on Sunday, and everybody was expecting Marvel to respond today. And me and Chris would think it was going to happen today, but then I was saying maybe it isn't, because they can't have a battle. She would be the type to have a battle back and forth.
Mm-hmm. She's being a shit disturber for just saying
And
that.
Spider-Man Homecoming's coming out. So nobody wants to destroy the launch of Spider-Man Homecoming, but she don't give a crap. She will, because she sees the overall picture of whatever she wants to get. So I'm thinking they're going to wait until after Spider-Man comes out. So what do you think of what I just told you based on that?
Yeah, they'll probably wait until after it comes out, or maybe just before it, so they can stay on the hype train. But it just depends, really. I'm not really too informed.
See, the thing is, Sony and Marvel are working on Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 together, right? But the deal is over after that. Now, of course, Marvel may want to try to extend that, but Sony would have to allow it. And Amy Pascal has said before that it looks like they're not going to. Like, she's speaking for Sony, saying, we're going to use you, Marvel, to make Spider-Man popular so we get the money to make our own universe. To heck with you. That's basically what was going on. And Sony's not saying boo. They're just letting her talk. And Marvel's just like totally quiet, which is weird. So that's the story, basically. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that Sony's doing wrong things? Do you think that...
well, Sony should... I think Sony should speak for themselves. I don't think they should really use her as a mouthpiece.
Yeah, I agree.
They should confirm it themselves, really. But I don't think...
They're in bad shape, too, in case you didn't know. Sony Pictures. Not Sony PlayStation, not the video game industry. We're talking about the movie divisions in bed, where they could be bought, they could go bankrupt.
They're Ryan.
So they're basically looking to screw anybody over or do whatever they can. So they're doing crazy ideas like, oh, let's make clean versions of the movie where we cut all curse words out in battles, and all these directors are telling Sony to go after themselves.
They did that something similar in years ago, and it's like,
no, but now they're not going to do it because they pissed off all their directors and producers. So they're like, oh, yeah, that was a bad idea. But they're trying to do things to make money. And they're stepping all over their face, basically, trying to do stupid stuff that's pissing everybody off. And this thing with Marvel, they'll use Spider-Man's popularity to catapult Venom, which will be filming in September. No involvement of Spider-Man whatsoever. Tom Hardy is Venom, which he played Bane and, Mad Max and all that. So I think this is a bad idea, and I think it's just not part of the MCU. And I think that there's a bunch of scum doing that. I'm expecting an announcement from Marvel soon. I don't know when.
This is going to sound real radical and way off in left field or so. Well, what if they know that the Homecoming's not as grand as they want? Hold on. They know it's not as grand as they want, and that's why they didn't say anything when she did say something.
Well, nobody wants to interfere. Nobody wants to start a battle.
I know. But what if they test audiences? They haven't really, because if they have shown it to test audiences, nobody said anything yet on how good or bad it is.
Well, actually, a review came out today that said it's fantastic.
Okay. I haven't heard anything yet. So.
Yeah. So my thing is, if they're waiting to do that, personally, I think it's a bad idea for them to wait, because the longer you let people believe this, the more real it becomes to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll get angry that you didn't come out and say anything.
You're going to have people going into this Venom movie being like, "Oh, I can't wait to see him fight Tom Holland," and then you're going to have people go, "These aren't connected," and then people are going to go, "Well, that's stupid. I'm not going to see the other movies."
But then they'll also we have the people that do not look at the news like we do. And they'll expect to see Venom appear fighting Thanos or something, and then they'll do the movie afterwards. They won't know. I mean, there's people that go to the Marvel movies that don't stay after the credits. You know that, Chris. People don't stay after the credits. They don't know. They don't know. You could. One time. You know what the funny thing is? One time I just got so mad that I said it. Oh, there's a thing after the credits. People still left. They don't give a crap. It was like, what the hell? I mean, they don't look up the news like we do. Well, so it's like,
What do you think about it, Ben? What's your take on the whole thing?
What? Oh, it's Schmoogle. Oh, his thing likes Zoom and it doesn't like Google.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, now we know what the problem is. Remember, we were having a problem the other night, and now we know it's
Mike
Hangouts.
D can't take Zoom, and Ben's system can't take Google. Oh, schmogel! Damn it! You can never, right, Chris? You can never get the perfect thing. It's either something's wrong with Google or something's wrong with Zoom.
Videocast services now.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Do you want to? Maybe I'll put the chat in so you can say something. Let's see.
I want Marvel Venom, not Sony Venom.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm telling you, this is a weird situation, and I have a feeling it's only going to get more volatile between Marvel and Sony.
Well, what is Connor?
Unless there's something behind the scenes, that we don't know about.
Connor, what do you?
They're gonna wait until the movie comes out, like it was said, or a week before, and then they're gonna address it. So that way, they get pretty much the last word, and there's no time, and everybody gets to see it, and nobody has a chance. And the one gal that can't come out later and go, well, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, what do you think, Connor? Would you rather Venom with Marvel or Venom with Sony?
Well, I think we'd all rather a Venom along with Marvel, but
yes.
it really depends on what the relationship between the two studios is, because you could have a good Sony Venom, which has been influenced by Marvel, or you could have a really bad last-minute scraped-together Venom by Marvel.
Well, it doesn't look like Marvel's inviting Sony to dinner anytime soon, right now.
But we don't know. We don't know, because a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
We don't know a lot of stuff. I mean, when we found out that Spider-Man was going to be in Civil War, it was a big shock, and that just happened randomly overnight. So it could happen a few days before the release of the film, as Scott said, but we don't know.
Ben, did you get your audio back?
I'm not sure.
Yes!
Yeah!
All right.
Hey, there we go.
I went into the settings and changed the microphone.
That thing.
All right, so what's your take, Ben?
I would rather have Marvel Venom, because if the last time Sony casted Venom, they went with Eric Foreman from that 70s show.
Oh, yeah. And I did not see him as Eddie Brock. I see him as everybody's favorite Visler Turlo, but I don't see him as I don't see him as Eddie Brock.
If you're gonna do Venom, he has to be a muscular jock.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I mean that's why they got Tom Hardy. I mean, because he's a good actor and he fits the bill.
Just don't give him a baby
even
voice
if he started off being not as muscular and then they built him up, fine. But I agree, he needs to be.
I still have a hard time believing that he was the villain of Star Trek Nemesis, but okay. Yeah. Okay, we have all this stuff about Godzilla, right, Chris?
Yeah. So this was really interesting. I wasn't expecting this today, but now that I look back on it, I guess it makes sense. They started filming today for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, that's the thing. This movie is not called Godzilla King of the Monsters. As of right now, there is no title. There was a press release. Yeah, there was a press release today that was released, an official one, and it had a synopsis in the press release, and the synopsis actually tells a lot more than people are thinking. For one, we can confirm that Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah are in this movie, so they're not saving them for anything else, as far as we know.
Okay.
We also know that it looks like Monarch is going to be the main human, like all the human characters are probably going to be Monarch related, because they specifically say that Monarch is the heroes, or are the heroes in this film. They also said that from the way that this title or this synopsis went, it sounds like the monsters are not going to team up against each other. They're actually all just going to fight each other.
Oh.
So
Godzilla is going to fight King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra at the same time. Everybody's fighting everybody.
Apparently, that's the way they're going.
Mothra's not going to side with Rodan. They're just like everybody's
Going by this synopsis, no. It looks like they're all just fighting each other.
Everybody, so how would it? Just throw them
Yeah.
in the ring and let's go. Battle Royal.
Yeah. The last thing was this press release does not refer to it as Godzilla King of the Monsters. So there was a reporter who asked an official source from the studio, and they said Godzilla King of the Monsters is not the official title.
Well, why did they say that, though?
I guess they changed it. I have no idea.
Supposed to be called
Right.
Godzilla something, right?
I'm assuming. I actually, to be honest with you, since this plot synopsis was released, I would not be surprised if they called it Destroy All Monsters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking right now. But, and also apparently the movie takes place in Georgia. They're filming in Atlanta, Georgia. I thought it was going to be used as another place that, you know, they're filming there, but it's not really Georgia. I guess it does take place in Georgia, at least part of it.
Okay.
So the movie's being filmed under the title Fathom. So anybody in the Georgia area, if you see signs that say Fathom, that's Godzilla 2.
Okay.
So keep an eye out.
Interesting.
That is interesting. What do you think, James, about Godzilla? You into Godzilla?
Well, the next Godzilla movie.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Excited. That's not till 2019, isn't it? Or is it 2018?
Yeah, 2019.
They're filming it today, so it's coming out next year.
2019. Well, if
Well,
World War
19.
III hasn't happened by then, I'm very excited.
What happened? What did you say?
I'm saying if World War III hasn't happened by then, I'm excited.
well,
Yes.
It's not going to, but all right. So, and what is your take on the Marvel situation that we were talking about, where it would, you know, did you see that whole stuff with Marvel?
No, I'm a
With
bit
Venom?
behind. You'll have to remind me.
All right. Well, then basically, quickly, Amy Pascal, of producer of vice producer of Spider-Man: Homecoming, she's with Sony.
Yeah.
Basically, there was an interview with her and Kevin Feige, who's in charge. Kevin Feige's in charge of the Marvel stuff, movies.
Mm-hmm.
She basically put him on the spot and made everybody believe that Venom and Silver Sable and Black Cat movies are in the MCU, that they're all connected. And he was like swallowing, and like he almost looked like he turned green, and he didn't say anything to stop her from talking, but he was obviously worried and upset. So everybody was expecting an announcement today that Marvel would say, no, Venom rated R movie is not part of the MCU, and you know, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not going to appear in there, because they did say before, Kevin Feige said that Tom Holland is their Spider-Man and nobody else could use him. So what do you think about that?
That's good.
I mean, I think it's just conflicts, isn't it? It never really resolves anything. I think they need to get it resolved ASAP, really. It's just confusion, isn't it?
I mean, do you think Marvel's going to respond, or are they going to wait till after Homecoming?
Marvel has a history of handling these things. Well, they used to not handle these things well, but they're actually pretty good at this sort of thing. So I'd say they would respond and handle it. Give them a week.
Hopefully tomorrow. Well, the longer it is, the worse it is. So.
Yeah, but you don't do these things in a day. It's unrealistic for a corporation that big.
Right.
Maybe.
All right. What else do we have, Chris? We had a few other things. Was there any news that broke? Anything with came out today?
To be honest, I was just keeping up with the Spider-Man stuff today, so I don't really have anything else, to be honest.
Well, there is a few things. One, Star Trek Discovery, surprisingly, is set for September 24th. Now, that is shocking that we've heard all these bad things about it not being ready, and now all of a sudden they're going to air it, the pilot of Discovery,
Which is probably the only
on the
thing they got
24th
done.
on CBS from 8:30 to 9:30. The first 8 episodes will run from September 24th through Sunday, November 5th. The remaining 7 episodes will kick off in January. So that's what we're getting.
So
we're getting,
Moffat's doing it so that way they can have a split.
No, this is Star Trek. This is Star Trek.
I know.
This is Star Trek. So 7. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Wait, no, I'm wrong. The first and second episode will be available on Access, whatever, and then the rest of them will be. The first 8 episodes. I'm sorry. The first 8 episodes will run, and then we'll have an additional 7 after that. So that's. What do you guys think of that? I mean, anybody interested in Star Trek Discovery?
Really?
I'm getting bored of Star Trek, to be honest.
I'm more interested in the Orville, to be honest.
Yes, the Orville looks great.
Yes.
Also, we're going to get a Last Jedi scene tomorrow. Did you hear about that, Chris?
Yeah, probably not. Don't hold your breath.
Really? That's baloney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably something that we've seen in the trailer a dozen times.
Really? And what would they?
Together to make it look like one long scene.
Right.
We've only just had the trailer, kind of recently. I don't see what they've gained from that, unless it was a leak.
Also, another Triple X4 is coming out now with Vin Diesel.
There was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, they were gonna do another one of those.
The
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious.
That was a success. And so, and yes, there's gonna be another Fast and Furious. What else, Chris? You was gonna say something? Or?
There was this. This article came out today about one of J.J. Abrams, a future project for his production company, Bad Robot. Right now, the tentative potential 4th Cloverfield movie. We have a synopsis, and it's got a release date. So, Overlord is scheduled to come out on October 26, 2018. And the synopsis, as of now, I guess is confirmed, is going to be a World War II film. Apparently has something to do with American paratroopers going into this village it's being controlled by the Nazis, and apparently the Nazis are doing some sort of experiment there that has something to do with supernatural forces.
And zombies, right?
That's what I've heard. It's that it's zombies or something. So
they're stealing the idea from Call of Duty and they're making a movie out of it.
So this is potentially Cloverfield 4. If you
and again, for anybody who doesn't know, there's a lot of confusion with Cloverfield. Cloverfield was the name of the monster in Cloverfield, correct?
No.
No? He wasn't.
Cloverfield was the name of the area that the government found the camera at the end of Cloverfield.
Okay.
Central Park.
And then all these movies are either not related or all related, but basically Cloverfield is J.J. Abrams' Twilight Zone because he didn't get the rights to do the Twilight Zone, correct? Something like that?
It's a series of anthology films that have
like
Cloverfield
the Twilight,
in
something
name.
like the Twilight. Cloverfield is like this
in
Twilight.
10 Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane was the address that the house was in that the movie takes place in.
Like they'll say in the Twilight Zone, it'll be like Cloverfield.
Right.
Basically.
Like in the next one is apparently called God Particle, and the name of the space station or something will probably be Cloverfield or something like that.
With the exception being that nothing will be better than Twilight Zone. So I don't know what he's trying to do. It's basically the Twilight Zone he's trying to do. Which
I want to point out again that this was not the original idea for the Cloverfield sequel. So if they tell you that this is the original idea for the Cloverfield sequel, they're either lying or they don't know what's actually happening.
Right. All right. Now we got some massive Doctor Who spoilers that we're going to talk about in the Real Halloween's cast. So I know some of you guys didn't see the stuff. So I know Connor asked you're not going to be in it because I know you didn't see it. I don't want to spoil it for you. But Ben, you saw the latest episode. So everybody, James saw the latest episodes. So we're going to go right now to the Real Halloween's cast. We're going to do it on the Zoom so Ben could have a better chance with that too because I know we're going to have problems with that. So here we go. Take care. Bye for now.
Never works.